La 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 da 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 da. La 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 da 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 da. A different world. Thank you. One more for you. I'm going to do this song as one of the first songs of Lent. It's probably one of the last songs I'll ever do, but it's got a great sentiment. It's by the Small Faces, and it's a song which hopefully apply today because it's called All or Nothing. If you know it, help me along. I thought you'd listen to my reasoning, but now it seems that you don't hear a thing. Try to make you see, oh, what you doing to me? 'Cause it's, well, all or nothing, sing. Well, all or nothing. It's all or nothing to me. Things could work out the way we want them to. If I could have the other half of you, I'll tell you no lie. It makes me sit down and cry, cry, cry. Sing, well, all or nothing. Well, all or nothing. It's all or nothing to me. Right now, here's some of the most important words in rock and roll. Are you ready? We're good the rest of the afternoon. The rain stopped, and I hope somebody's fucking listening.
Yeah. Thanks, Glenn. Another big cheer for Glenn. That was a fantastic 10 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. And now our next speaker needs little introduction. It's the General Secretary of the GMB, Tim Roach. A big hand for Tim.
Hi everyone, fantastic to see so many of you here, and especially of course to the GMB lot and members and activists, all of you have turned out in your absolute thousands, sending a message to the heart of this rotten Tory government that austerity has pushed working people to the absolute limit. You all know the facts. Real wages in their worst depression for 200 years. 1 million people on 0 hours contracts. 700,000 people earning less than the national minimum wage in the so-called gig economy. Today we've gathered here to say we've had enough. And comrades, we're fighting for a better economy, but our cause is a moral one too. Couriers denied employment status rights are dying, literally dying, because they're too afraid to take time off from their shifts. Jeff Bezos is spending £131 billion on spaceships when his Amazon employees are having to sleep in tents. Companies that preach technology and innovation while practicing the oldest terms and forms of exploitation. It's an absolute outrage. We have to confront the menace in the workplace, in Parliament and in the courts. So when Uber said that it didn't employ its drivers and didn't owe them sick pay and holiday pay or pensions, GMB took them on. We took them on in the courts and we won. And my message to all employers in the gig economy today is, it doesn't matter if you're Hermes, Uber, Amazon or any other company that denies union members their rights, we're coming for you, every one of you. And you remember when Philip Hammond said that public sector workers are overpaid? Let him tell that to our emergency service workers forced into debt and homelessness, to the care workers denied the minimum wage, to teaching assistants struggling to feed their own kids on 12 grand a year. I'm so proud that the trade union movement is tearing down the hated pay cap. And on its 70th year, we have to recognise we've got to stand up for the NHS as well. Stand up against fragmentation. stand up against privatisation, and most of all, stand up against the slander of Donald Trump. So when Trump visits his sidekick Theresa May next month, we must and we will be there in our thousands to say that his politics of fear, of division, of discrimination has no place in our country, because we all know what we're fighting for. A new deal for workers, full employment rights, an end to exploitation, reborn public services, a real living wage of £10 an hour, this and so much more. Comrades, a better economy, a better world can be had if we have the courage to fight for it. Working people are hungry and are desperate for change. We have to make the world of work the #1 political agenda in this country. The Labour manifesto that we can build on is a magnificent step forward. That new politics needs a new trade unionism. Let today be the start of that journey together. Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant, Tim. Our next speaker needs a little introduction, so I'm not going to give him one. Just to say, Mark Savotka, General Secretary of the PCS.
Greetings, comrades. First of all, if there's any workers here from the NHS, shout if you're here. Brilliant. Well, let me start by saying 521 days ago today, you saved my life with a heart transplant. I want to thank you on my behalf and everybody else. The NHS workers save lives, and they deserve more pay, no privatisation. And while we're at it, the NHS shows that people coming to this country from all over the world should be welcomed here, not demonised. Refugees and migrants should always be welcome in this country. And I've got 3 short things to say. Windrush. Now, the Windrush scandal, to my mind, is one of the most despicable political decisions that I have seen in my lifetime. Theresa May is a racist. Racist policies in the Home Office resulted in deportations of people who have lived in this country for years. And when she blames PCS members in the Home Office, it makes me sick to my stomach. It is not the workers in the civil service, it is the politics of the Tory party that is racist and divisive, and we have got to overturn it. But I always want to mention also, this week I had the pleasure of meeting PCS members from Carillion who work in the British Museum, cleaners and security guards currently employed by PricewaterhouseCoopers, and the British Museum will not talk to the union. We demand all Carillion workers brought back into the public sector, in the culture sector and everywhere else. And let me also say this, for those who watched Dispatches this week, universal credit is a policy from the Tories to give people unfortunate enough to be on benefits a hard time. Our welfare system is a disgrace. We need better benefits and we need more workers to pay out to people in need. So I'm here to stand up for PCS members in job centres, working in terrible conditions, administering a terrible social security system. Let's get Jeremy Corbyn in as Prime Minister and give us the system that we deserve. Now, my final point is this. The public sector pay cap allegedly is gone. But let me tell you this. If you're unfortunate enough to work for the government, i.e. a PCS member, we have been told it is 1% for the 11th consecutive year of pay cuts. And the low-paid, hard-working men and women who work in our parts of the public sector deserve more. So let me announce this. If our conference agrees the week after next, we are moving to a statutory strike ballot of 150,000 PCS members. And we want everyone here to support our members, support our reps, because we shouldn't have to go on strike. But if the government don't give us what we deserve, strike we will. Support us, support yourselves, and have a good day, comrades.
Thanks for that, Mark, and it is an absolute honour to welcome our next guest, Matt Rack from the FBU. Big applause, everyone.
Sisters and brothers, comrades, I bring greetings from the Fire Brigades Union to this rally of the TUC. Now, I want to address something slightly different because just over a month away from today, we will mark the 1-year anniversary of the Grenfell Tower fire. What I have described previously as an atrocity, where 72 people lost their lives as a result of something that happens every day, a fire in a domestic premises. So people died not as a result of war or terrorism, but as a result of an electrical fault. And a year on, we have seen little or no progress in addressing the concerns of that community. People still homeless, people still concerns not addressed. Nobody has been arrested. We face the inquiry is due to open in a couple of weeks' time. And yet all the signs are that the concerns and for those bereaved as a result of that fire. Now we have a government which attacks trade unionists every day, which attacks trade unions, which attacks public services. And I would ask them to cast their minds back to that event, because the people who went into that tower to a person were members of the Fire Brigades Union. So when you want to attack us for asking for a pay rise or for asking for justice for our pensions or to stop the cuts, remember that's what trade unionists look like, and we should be proud of them. And we want to see a major change of direction that actually puts people before profit, that puts public safety before the needs of big business, that puts decent, safe homes for everyone on the agenda. And that needs to be at the heart of this campaign, the heart of what our Labour movement stands for. Thanks very much. Solidarity forever.
OK, we've got our last group of frontline workers who are going to talk to you about their experiences, and they're going to tell you why Britain's public sector workers need a new deal. So in a moment, we're going to ask Amy Johnson, a teacher, an NEU member, to come and speak to the rally. Then Penny Smith, a Unison rep from Northamptonshire County Council. Lorna Kennedy, a PCS member from the Universal Credit Centre in Blackpool. Lucy Mahmood, a firefighter and FBU member. And Jill Taylor, a physio and CSP member. So, Amy, please.
Hi. Why are we here? Because we've had enough. Enough of being undervalued, underfunded and underpaid. I remember a time when teaching was a valued profession, but our government needs a reminder. Value our education system and the staff that make our schools. Remember our working conditions, our children's learning conditions. We say aspire to be a teacher, a doctor, a nurse, a firefighter, a physiotherapist. But what are they aspiring to? 70-hour working weeks, poor technology and art than last year. I've been teaching for 8 years, and in those 8 years, the government has cut mine and every teacher's pay in this country. Pay has gone down, workload has gone up. Pay and conditions in teaching is not attractive compared to other professions. So fund education properly, pay teachers their worth, invest in children's futures. Value us, fare us funnily, and pay us properly.
Good afternoon. My name's Penny Smith and I represent Unison members in Northamptonshire County Council. And you might have heard of my employer because in recent months Northamptonshire County Council has become famous, but not for good reasons. It's famous